the season, who was the chap who got the first shot? He was something to do director, not a director, but something on.
Mike Grigg.
Mike Grigg.
Mike Grigg,
Was it Rigg?
Rigg, he's left now.
What did he do?
So he's on the football side. He wasn't.
Yes, he didn't do much, did he?
He was on the football side.
And he never came out here. He was faceless. I didn't even know what he looked like. Honestly. And I was glad when he went, because when he went out, we started to change.
So today's video is about Tony Khan, Fulham's head of football operations. I wasn't really going to do this video, but after the Wolfsburg game and Jukanovic's criticism of the kind of transfer policy and not being able to buy anyone, I thought this would be the best time to do it. Now, my opinion of Tony Khan is, I think he's been a breath of fresh air for Fulham. I think he's brought some new ideas. His transfer policy has worked really well. Last year, the players he's brought in, I thought were excellent. I never forget, actually, after going to the Reading playoff game at the pub on the Fulham Broadway, I remember going back to Putney Bridge Station, and I remember everyone on their phones to their sisters, mothers, fathers, brothers, boyfriend, girlfriend, and they were all saying the same thing. They were saying, we're not going to keep Tom Cairney is going to leave, we're not going to keep Ryan Sessegnon's going to leave, Jukanovic is going to go. And what Tony Khan has managed to do is keep Tom Cairney, make him sign a contract extension. He's kept Ryan Sessegnon and signed his brother cleverly as well, and also kept Jukanovic, as well as adding Thomas Callas and Piazon on loans again this season. Before I talk more about Tony Khan, last season I interviewed some of the fans.
Tony Khan's been doing alright. He's been to quite a few games this season. He's been an absolute star. He's got to know the fans. He's been doing every bit of business that you'd want him to be doing at a club.
It's good. It knows that it's a family business, that everyone wants to be part of it, everyone wants to play.
And what do you think about his kind of selection policy, where he's selecting people on statistical research?
I don't know, I'm not so sure about that. I think it's good because you know how well they're playing away on average, how they're doing before you bring them into the club. But I feel like if you just bring, if you look at the players live opposed to statistics, I feel like it's better because you can see how they're playing rather than seeing their statistics.
Been very, very friendly with the friends through social media. I think it's very difficult because obviously there's a market there, there's a reason for doing it. It's proven in some respects, but I think it's more than that. It's about the player's background, his social background, how he's going to settle in, is he coming across on his own with his family? Yeah, just in general, what is he like? Is he the type of lad that needs to be attended and looked after all the time, or can he be left to his own devices?
He seems to love the club. He seems to know what it's about, so I'm pleased. He seems to be the right person to be in charge.
Tony Khan's analysis basically comes from, his inspiration comes from the book Moneyball. And this is like a really amazing book. Basically, this was trying to look at a baseball model and to show that all this kind of scouts, managers, players, what they're actually based on is not actually correct. And to look at the kind of model where you're looking at stats to how good players are, and it's about finding value in players in the market. It's about finding value, and I think what Fulham have done is tried to find the best value they have in the current market. Because you look at the other Championship teams, they're spending crazy amounts of money, and it's not about not spending money because Fulham are active in the market, but it's about finding the right players and the right talent from different leagues. Of course, I think there's going to be a couple of more transfers, and it would be nice maybe if Jukanovic would be involved in one of them. At the end of the day, Tony Khan has been very honest with people, and he said we have a certain way of transferring players. We have a certain statistical research that we back ourselves to sign players, and I understand the manager might not be entirely happy, but I actually don't think there's a big problem. I think the media have exaggerated the problem between manager and board, or manager and statistical research. I also think that, like, if I think about Tony Khan and Slavisa, they're two polar opposites, but they're also very similar as well. Slavisa is a very emotional kind of manager. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And Tony Khan is not emotional at all. He just deals in facts, stats, because basically they both want to win. They're very hungry. They both see themselves in a higher level for what they do in the next 2, 3, 4 years. And I think that's going to work really well for Fulham together. Also I want to talk about is Craig Klein. Now Craig Klein has come in for a lot of criticism as well last week, but I think that if you look at the transfers that we've done in the last 2 years, Craig Klein's done alright. And I think having Tony Khan, having Craig Klein as his like right-hand man, so to speak, I think Slavisa Jokanovic was someone that essentially Craig Klein recommended. He wrote a huge dossier on him, and that's why he came to Fulham, because Tony Khan was very impressed by what he said about him. And also people like Tom Cairney, a lot of people don't realise Tom Cairney was someone that was purchased on the back of stats and analysis, and I think that's been a real positive. So if there's some players that you think we should sign, or tell me what you think about some of the transfers that's taken place, please put it in the comment section below.